Hi, this is Scott Litter, and I'm just going to do a short tutorial video here on how to use the tools in Inkscape. So right now I've already opened up Inkscape, and I'm going to show you that if you go up to the File menu in the upper left-hand corner, you can click on that, and you can see you can open a new file, you can open an existing file, you can save or save as, so you can get back to your work later. I've already got a new file open here. Some of the main tools that you're probably going to want to use are over on this left side in this left toolbar. One of them would be the rectangle, and the rectangle, if I simply click on that and then come out in here onto my canvas, I can click and drag and I can make a rectangle. And down below I can change the different colors of the fill space here. And for example, this X on the bottom left is none, so I can click there, which you can see that now there's no color, or I can click any of the other colors to change the fill color. And you can see off to the right that there's all kinds of other options of things that you can do, things you can adjust. You can change the opacity of it to make it more opaque or less opaque, and you can see as that will change basically the darkness of the blue right there. And if you would like to change the actual border here, I believe you can go Shift and then click a color, and that'll change the color. You can see that I changed it to pink, so now there's a pink border there. Also down below, next to, you can see the fill down here in the bottom left-hand corner is blue, but the stroke is pink, and you can see the little number next to that. If I click on that number and then go up to the upper right-hand corner, you can see the width of my border right now is 2.065 millimeters, and I can change that by clicking on these arrows. You can see, like right now, I'm making it much thicker, making that border much thicker out here. Okay. Also, if I'd like to move left to right, I can use the bars at the bottom here, the scroll bars, to move my screen. Up, down, left, right, to move myself around. I can zoom. This looks like a magnifying glass here. Let me zoom in and out. Or I can just simply, without zooming, I can hit the plus or minus button. So the plus button, actually I need to hit the space bar. Space bar will get me out of the rectangle tool, or I can click on this select selector right up here, or I can just simply hit the space bar, which is what I'm going to do right now, and that should get me out of that. I don't think it did though. Let me try it again. Let me click on the selector. There we go. So right now I'm out of the rectangle mode, and you'll notice that some little arrows appeared here. So this arrow in the upper left, upper right, lower left, that will let me change the size of my object and keep the same proportions. If I'd like to stretch the object to the right and keep the up and down dimensions the same, I can grab the right arrow and drag it. And the same thing with the up and down arrows, I can grab those and go up and down to adjust that. Now if I click on the object again with my selector, different types of arrows will show up, and you can see that you've got this little arrow at the top. If I drag this to the right, it'll skew it to the right or left, and if I grab a corner arrow here, this will actually help me rotate it. So you can see that that's going to help me rotate that box. Right now the center of rotation is right here in the middle of the box. And it is possible to move that. If you click on it, actually, I'll click again to go back to my rotation. I can grab that and I can move that center of rotation to wherever I want to. So I can move it here. Now when I click the corner and rotate, it'll rotate around that center. Again, if you grab this, it'll skew it left or right. You can see how those different arrows change the box. Again, if I click it again, now I'm back to being able to stretch it up or down, left and right. Click it again, I'm able to rotate it or skew it again. Okay, so those are some of the buttons you can use. And again, space bar is supposed to get you out of that, although it doesn't seem to be doing that right now. I can always click on this selector button to help me select, and I can grab stuff and move it around. I'm just clicking on it and dragging it right now to move it around my canvas. Another tool you might want to use is the circle function right here, circle and ellipse. And again, I click on it and I can click and drag to make a circle or an ellipse. I can change that shape based on where I drag. And the same thing goes again. You can see these little handles you can grab. I'm going to grab my selector button again up in the upper left. and I can stretch that object to the right or left. I can also stretch it vertically, or I can grab the corner and keep the proportions the same as I stretch it. If I click it again, I can rotate it. And again, it'll always rotate around the center. Oops, it's kind of hard to see with the circle. Let's skew this a little bit first. I'll skew it to the right. Now I'm going to rotate it. You can see how the shape stays the same when I grab those corner handles. Same shape, it just rotates. Again, if I click it again, I can go back to stretching it up or down or left or right. The pencil tool is the next. Oh, actually, let's show you the octagon star tool first. If I click on that, this yellow octagon star, I can click and drag and create some type of polygon or star. And you'll see at the top, I can switch between polygons and stars based on what I want up here in the upper left. Number of corners. Right now I'm at 8, so let's say I decide to go to 5. And the spoke ratio will change what the star looks like also. So, not sure why that didn't change. Maybe I didn't have it selected. I'm not sure. But for some reason that didn't change to 5. It should have changed. I'll have to check that out later. Let's try. Okay, let's try the pencil. And write with this pencil here. I can write whatever I want here. I can say hi. Draw straight lines with this if I'd like. I can draw curved lines. And I can also select all of those. If I don't want them, I want to get rid of them, I could just hit the delete button and that'll get rid of those. So I select them all, hit delete, they're gone. Okay. Again, here's the pencil again. So I make some type of, oops, let me try that again. Click the pencil. I'm going to click and drag some type of line. You'll notice that I can change over here, and if this menu's not open, you can click down bottom left. Next to the stroke, it says 0.265. That means that my lines are 0.265 millimeters. I can adjust that up here. Upper right, I'm going to make that width bigger. And you can see that my line is getting thicker as I go. Okay. I can also select it. Use my selector tool again. Select it. And I can again drag, just like I could with objects. I can stretch things any direction I want. If I click it again, I'll have the option to rotate it. Whoops, I'm on the wrong object now. Let me get back to the line. Click on the line. Right now I can stretch it based on these arrows. Click on that object again. There we go. Now I can rotate it just like the other objects that are rotated. The pen is right underneath the pencil on the left side. The pen will allow you to draw straight lines. So I'm going to drag and click, click, click. Actually not dragging, I'm just moving my mouse and clicking. And I can make a closed or not closed object doing that. And again, I can adjust, make sure that's highlighted. I'm going to use my selector tool to highlight it. Again, I can adjust the width, the thickness of my color. Okay. I can click on it, change the color of that by hitting Shift. If I hit Shift and then click on a color, it'll change the border color. If I want to fill it, I just simply go down here and click on a color to fill it. Okay. And again, if I just click on the color, it'll fill this in if it's a closed object. If I hit Shift and then click on a color, it'll change the border color. Alright, text. If I click on this capital A over here, this is the last one I'm going to show you for right now. If I click on the text button and then click up here somewhere, it's going to allow me to type in text. Make a text box here and start typing. So I'm just going to type in anything here. Then use my selector button. And again, I can stretch that text to make it taller or wider. I can also go up to my text menu at the very top, hit text, text and font. it's going to give me a menu where I can look for different fonts, different text sizes. Right now the font size is 80.9392. Let's say I want it to be even bigger than that, so I could go down here, click on 144. I don't think I had it highlighted, but that's a way that you can change your font size and your type of font. I can click, oh, excuse me, right here's my text, right there. And I need to hit apply to apply that. So that's the reason that my text size didn't change earlier, is because I hadn't hit apply yet. So anyway, that's kind of a short little video on what I've learned so far. I've just spent about a day playing around with it, and Inkscape looks to be a pretty fun tool that we would do a lot of things with. So thanks for listening, and hope the video helps.